Hey finders, and welcome back to Fortune Finds, and welcome to this week's video where I'm going to be teaching you all of my tips and tricks on how to prevent, treat, and cover up any facial pigmentation. A few of my lovely subscribers have asked me to help walk them through how they can go ahead and cover up pigmentation, but I'm kind of going to take it a step further, and I'm also going to be showing you guys all of the different ways that you can help treat and prevent pigmentation with the use of skincare. So that is what you can expect from me today. I'm so excited to go ahead and hop into it, but before we do, make sure that you subscribe and ring the bell if you have not done so yet. If you're unsure if you're subscribed, just scroll down. If the button is red, that means that you are not subscribed, so click it, make it gray. I would love for you to become a part of my little Fortune Finds family. So we have quite a few tips and tricks to cover, so let's go ahead and just hop right into the video. Can you guys hear my candle? Mike bought me this candle for Christmas, and it has a wooden wick and it like crackles in the background. It's very relaxing, actually. I will link it down below on the exact one that he got me, but I'm wondering if you can even hear that. I'm wondering if that's gonna be a little annoying. I'm gonna touch upon skincare that you can use to correct pigmentation that you already have, and then I'm also gonna touch upon skincare that you can use to help prevent any future pigmentation or current pigmentation from getting worse. And I'm just giving you guys an insight from things that I've read and also experiences that I've had with certain products that I'm gonna mention in today's video. You clearly know what some variations of skin pigmentation are, I'm assuming, because you're watching this video. Different types are, age spots. So, in the summer when you're outside, you're in the sun, you got a bunch of freckles, and then like your freckles fade in the winter, but then like there's one or two that don't go anywhere. Well, that, my friend, is a dark spot. Melasma, which is kind of like a patch of darker skin on your face. It kind of looks like a certain section of your skin is tanned more so than other sections of your skin. And there's also something called post-inflammatory pigmentation. If you suffered from a really bad breakout, cystic acne, it can kind of leave pigmentation on your skin. So I have two toners here in front of me that I have used quite often. These are like my second or third bottles of both. I always recommend buying a trial size of skincare. If it doesn't mix well with your skin, why waste all of your money on a full size when you can only waste some of your money on a trial size? So the first one, this is the one that I have personally been using the most. This is the Paula's Choice Skin Perfecting 2% BHA toner. So this has BHA in it, which is a chemical exfoliant. It also has salicylic acid in it. So if you are someone that is prone to acne, has an acne breakout, this is going to help treat your acne as well. Another one that I like and have seen really awesome results with. I've seen really good results with both, but I think in terms of my dark spots, they've gotten lighter more so using this product. This is the Henrickson Dark Spot Toner. AHAs and BHAs are essentially chemical exfoliants. So what that's going to do is it's going to take away the top layer of your skin. And essentially every time you do this, it's going to go ahead and take off the dead skin cells, and it's kind of going to eat away at your pigmentation. You're kind of just like taking layer by layer by layer off of the pigmentation. That kind of makes it lighter. I'm going to use the Paula's Choice, and I'm going to use that on a reusable cotton round. I have a little bit of pigmentation right here. I don't know if you can see. I have dark spots in this area, and I also have a dark spot right here, and I also have a dark spot right here, which this used to be so much worse than it is right now, but I'm kind of just going to push it in to my pigmentation first and let it sit there. So just pat it in, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add a little bit more, but I'm not adding a lot. When I put some on, I'll show you. I'm kind of just taking a drop or two, and then I'm going to go ahead and apply this in circular motions, and the circular motion is going to help to really pick up that layer of skin. I would recommend doing this 2 to 3 times a week. You can use them on a daily basis, but I would work your way up to that. See how your skin reacts to chemical exfoliants. I do like them better than a physical exfoliant. I think that they really exfoliate the face a little bit better, and I think they get a little deeper into your layers of skin. So like I said, I'm gonna just focus that on that dark spot, and I'm being gentle with my skin. Aloe Henrickson is clean at Sephora. However, if you are a little wary of using a chemical exfoliant, you want something that's a little bit more natural, maybe a little more gentler on the skin, you can always use aloe vera. Aloe vera contains an ingredient called aloe. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but I'll put it here on the screen. That is actually a natural depigmenting compound that has been shown to lighten skin and effectively work as a non-toxic hyperpigmentation treatment. So before you go to bed, apply your skincare routine, avoid any areas that have hyperpigmentation on them, and then you should go ahead and just take that pure aloe vera gel, and I would just rub that into any hyperpigmentation that you have on your face. And then in the morning, the best way to remove it is using warm water. There are many serums that can go ahead and also brighten any dark spots on your face, lighten up any pigmentation on your face. I personally love myself a good vitamin C. It's not only going to brighten up your dark dark spots, your pigmentation. It kind of just brightens up your whole face, and it is an antioxidant. They basically just help to protect your skin cells from further damage from UV rays. UV rays are honestly the thing that's going to make your pigmentation worse. You have dark spots, think about where you got those dark spots. You probably got them from sitting in the sun too long, and whether you got melasma after giving birth to a child or from the sun is going to make it look worse. So if you use an antioxidant, that's going to go ahead and take that sun ray and basically bounce it off of your face. And vitamin C specifically also inhibits the production of melanin, what your skin produces in order to give you a tan. It's going to inhibit your skin from making those dark spots even darker. So today I'm going to be using vitamin C. I'm going to be using the Sobel SkinRX 35% vitamin C serum. This one is pretty pricey. It's like $105. However, Mad Hippie vitamin C serum I think is better than this, and it is like a fraction of the price. I think it's like 20 bucks. I always say that a really awesome alternative to vitamin C or retinol is niacinimide, which is a little bit gentler of a product I have found. And again, I have very, very sensitive skin, but I really love Sobel SkinRX. Their 15% niacinimide nighttime serum. I used every single ounce, every single drop of that product. The next serum that I'm going to buy when I go through a couple serums is the Paula's Choice 10% niacinimide booster, which Paula's Choice tends to be an affordable brand, so I definitely want to try that one. And another one that I've heard really good things about that you can use as a replacement to vitamin C or niacinimide is the Ordinary's Azelaic acid. You can use any of those serums that I've mentioned, the serum that I'm about to use. I will put everything down below in the description. And I'm going to take one full pump of that. And as you can see, this is like a very creamy serum. And I would go ahead and focus this on the areas of pigmentation that you have, because I always say that the first place you go in with any product always packs the most potency, the most pigment, or the most coverage. So I'm really just going to focus this product on top of my dark spots. All right, and then I'm going to give this a little bit of time to soak into my skin so that I can reap the benefits of that antioxidant. SPF is your best friend. You should wear SPF every day. Even if you are spending the entire day in the house, you should be wearing an SPF of 50. When I'm not literally going to be sitting outside and I'm not directly exposed, I personally prefer an SPF of 30. In the summer though, I will use 50 to 100 on my face. I'm going to be using 30 today. I really love the Neutrogena Visibly Even Daily Moisturizer. This is a really nice, thin, light moisturizer. And again, I'm really going to focus this over top of where I have my pigmentation. This has essential soy in it, which is a natural skin brightener. This will help visibly reduce blotchiness and discoloration in your skin, as well as minimize the look of dark spots. If you are using a foundation that has SPF in it, you should probably also be using an SPF underneath it. So sometimes I go in with my IT Cosmetics CC Plus cream with SPF 50 on top, and I don't put sunscreen underneath it. But honestly, if you have a lot of pigmentation on your face and you're really concerned about it and you want it to get better, go in with a sunscreen and then go over top with a foundation that has sunscreen in it too. If you are spending the day outside, cover your face. I bought a really awesome hat from Amazon that I really, really loved this summer. I will go ahead and link it down below. So let's get on to the makeup. Now, I know that I always say that you can use your moisturizer as a primer, but I think if you were someone that has a lot of pigmentation, you should use some kind of primer that has a grip to it. I'm not going to use a primer just because I personally don't have a ton of pigmentation, but if you are someone that does, Milk Hydro Grip Primer or the Hourglass Veil Mineral Primer, color correcting. I feel like it was something that was here for a very short period of time. It was like all the rage, and then it kind of just died overnight. It is an extra step in your makeup routine, but if you are someone that is really unhappy with pigmentation in your skin, color correcting is really going to do a lot, if not all of the work for you in terms of makeup. So I really like this. This is the JCat color corrector. For me, I'm pretty fair. So fair to medium skin tones, I would use more of an orange. Whereas if you have darker skin, you should use more of a red. If you put too much color corrector on, then it's going to make your makeup look muddy, patchy. So just take what you need. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put that over my dark spots, and I'm kind of just like pouncing that really gently over my skin. Put it right here. I'm gonna put it, I mean, I don't really cover this up because it's in my hairline, but I'll just cover it up for the point of today's video. I have pretty dark circles, so I just want to show you that, you know, if you have even darker pigmentation than me, this will work as well. So I'm applying it with one finger. Don't swipe it. You want to push it into your skin because by swiping it, it's not gonna pack as much pigment on top. I feel like I kind of went in a little too heavy-handed, so I'm gonna take a clean finger and I'm just gonna pat over that just to take a little bit of that pigmentation away. And then for those of you who have really red skin, you're gonna want to use a green. I have a lot of redness around my mouth. As you can see, I get a lot of pigmentation here. So I'm gonna use the green and I'm gonna do the same exact thing. Only apply as much as you need and really make sure that you're blending it out. And I get really red on my nose too, so I'm just gonna take what's ever left over and I'm gonna pat that. I hope you guys can notice the difference yourself from what my skin looked like before I applied all of the color corrector to right now. I think another important thing to note is the undertone of your skin. If you go in with something that is cool toned and you are warm toned, it's just gonna look weird. It's not going to cover up anything nicely, whether you have pigmentation or not, and it's kind of going to change the overall shade of your face. So if you go in with something that is cool toned and you are warm toned, you can kind of look a little ashy. You can kind of look a little gray. A really easy way to go ahead and figure that out is to look at the veins on your arms. If they're blue or purple, then that means that you are cool toned. Slightly green or olive toned, then that means that you have a warm undertone. If you have blue and green veins, which I do, but it's kind of hard to show you on camera, especially with all these lights, but I have blue and green veins, so I am what is considered a neutral undertone. That means you can use cool toned or warm toned foundations or concealers, but personally for me, I always like to go with a neutral option. In terms of foundation and concealer, I'm going to recommend that you use something that is higher, fuller coverage. A really great full coverage foundation, or foundation drops I should say, are those Dermablend ones. I forgot the name of them off the top of my head. I will go ahead and put them down below. It's literally going to take whatever foundation you're using and make it like 2 times more full coverage. This is not super high coverage. I would say this is medium coverage, but this is the foundation that I'm going to be using today. NARS Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation in the shade Vienna. The reason why you should use a brush as opposed to a damp beauty sponge is that a brush is going to pack way more pigment and is going to make your foundation more full coverage, whereas if you were to go in with a damp beauty sponge and apply foundation with a damp beauty sponge, that kind of takes away the coverage. Take your brush that now has foundation on it and apply it to your pigmentation first. So I'm going to go right here first, and I'm going to go around my mouth first. I'm not going to go under my eyes because I don't like to apply foundation where I'm going to go in with concealer anyway. But by going into these areas first, you're packing the most product there. Don't swipe, especially if you're color correcting, because if you swipe after color correcting, you're going to go ahead and move all of those colors that we put on our face. And then as I run out of product, I'm going to go ahead and move over to the places on my face that don't have as much pigmentation or any pigmentation at all. If you get to this step and you realize that your pigmentation is still poking through, pick up a little bit more foundation, pat that over my troubled areas, stop applying, let that sit on my skin for a minute or two. It's going to give you a better picture of how your foundation's going to wear. Then I would go back in with the brush and just blend out the edges, kind of like you blend out the edges of your eyeshadow to make it blend a little bit more. Do the same thing with your foundation. So just blend the edges. This way it doesn't look like you're wearing an extra patch of foundation in that area. Concealer, and it's kind of going to be the same thing, but I want to show you because we did color correct. Push this into the skin in the same stippling motion that we applied our foundation with. Typically, guys, I would go in with concealer around my nose and around my mouth because I'm so red there, but because I color corrected, I really don't feel like I need it. Powder foundation is really going to up the ante in terms of coverage. It's really going to create an extra layer of coverage and an extra layer of like makeup insurance. I talk about that a lot here on my channel, is just like layering specifically so that products catch one another should they start to fade throughout the day. This one's really good. This is the Aquasurance Compact Foundation by JCat. A fluffy brush is important. This packs a lot of coverage, and if you go in with too dense of a brush, it's going to look patchy wherever you go ahead and lay it down. Tap off the excess, and I'm just going to pat this over where I want to set my face and also where you have that pigmentation. All of my pigmentation is pretty much gone. He is pretty much a lot lighter than he was, and then this guy up here, you really like can't even see him. These are all of my tips and tricks on how to cover any unwanted pigmentation. I hopped off camera, clearly did the rest of my makeup. If you are interested in everything that is on my face, this will be coming up in my next video, so do make sure that you subscribe and ring the bell. I'm kind of doing a project pan for 2021. I don't want to buy any new products, but I kind of want to use up the majority of what I have before I go ahead and invest more money into some new makeup. So I'm just doing a curated little collection of all of the products that I'm going to be using on a daily basis to help get through them. I hope that this video was helpful. Let me know down below in the comment section, what did you take away from this video? If you do go ahead and try any of my tips and tricks, do be sure to come back and let me know how it went for you. I would love to hear that I helped at least one of you out there. I love to help you guys. And as always, if you have a beauty issue that you would like me to solve, then do be sure to leave it down below in the comments as well. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Keep those video recommendations coming in, and I will see you in my next one. Bye, finders. Mwah.